Things I know are true. The Lakers need Shaq more than they need Kobe. All Ken Griffey Jr. needs now is a title. Golfers need to stop whining about course conditions, and I'm Tony Reality. Try working with Mariotti and Page on a daily basis. Talk about hot wind and deep rough.
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Tony Reality.
Welcome back to the red eye of sports television. Today, Tiger and the Bully, T-Mac and Shaq, and three grown men argue over the importance of Oprah in their life. You got to stick around for that. Let's check out our national panel. At the Los Angeles Times, making his triumphant return, it's Bill Plaschke.
Dodgeball made more money than Terminal, Tony, and it's your fault.
Not my fault. Give us a Plaschke salute, please. One last time. There it is. At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page.
If you count the tennis balls and the baseballs behind Mariotti, you'll come up with that in that room, there are a total of 5.
Whoa, we're going to hold it right there. In New York City, representing the Chicago Sun-Times, it's Jay Mariotti.
But I don't have varicose veins. Woody Page.
All right, both you guys, save it for the show. And at the Boston Globe,
this is the show.
ATH ladies man Michael Smith.
You know, this show was missing something last week, Tony, namely me.
All right, you better bring it today, guys. Let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
And the first word is a four-letter word, golf. Many of the world's best were muttering four-letter words other than golf in the final round of the U.S. Open yesterday. A round that saw no one in the red and scores at an average of 79 on the par 70 GOAT track of Shinnecock Hills. Retief Goosen prevailed with 11 one-putt greens on Sunday to finish at 4 under for the tourney, while Phil Mickelson failed to win his second straight major when he double bogeyed 17, erasing his one-stroke lead. So, guys, was Shinnecock a fair test on Sunday? Around the horn to Woody Page.
Of course it was unfair. Was it unfair when Dallas played Green Bay in the Ice Bowl? Is it unfair when teams have to play in fog and snow? Of course it's unfair, but that's part of what sports is all about. Is it unfair when you have to go play at Duke? Of course it's unfair, but that is part of establishing and identifying who are champions. And Shinnecock did that extremely well yesterday. It's one of the shortest courses in the last 10 years in the U.S. Open, and technology and the golf ball now travels 600,000 miles as if it were on the moon, but that's okay because we find out that this is not Quad City.
What are you saying here, man? Please, come on.
Shut. You know what? I agree with him. Let me just shut him up here. You need one difficult test a year in golf, and you had it yesterday. The U.S. Open every year should be difficult. Now, what happened? Retief Goosen plowed through it all. You had all these whiners, Tiger, Phil, everybody whining at the end of the day. One man made it work, Retief Goosen. You know, 11 one-putt greens. Number 7, he pars all 4 days. I mean, it's about being a tough test, and one man got through the tough test.
My point exactly, Mariotti. One man got through this entire test. You guys remind me of that mean old math teacher I used to have in the 5th grade. She used to always like it when the whole class would fail and turn in 60s on the test. Same thing. You're not going to tell me that there's something good about the best golfers in the world all shooting 76s and 70s and 80s. One guy or 2 players broke par for the entire tournament. You know, one over on a Sunday winning the tournament, that's not good golf. Unfair test. Fix the course.
All right, first off, Mariotti, say it. It's Retief Goosen. Say it. Goosen, not Goosen, Mariotti. Goosen. Thank you very much. Also, Michael, you're totally wrong. People watch golf not to see the greatest golfers shoot greatest scores, but to see the greatest golfers break their clubs and be human beings and struggle. No, people love that, and that's what's a great test of sports. That's why this was not only fair, it was perfect to see who could survive.
All right.
People cheer for the course.
Brings us to the matter of Phil Mickelson, because Goosen won, but Mickelson's the big story. Did he choke Jay Mariotti?
You know what? He had a chance to bury his pass. He just brought the pass back.
I don't think that's true.
Should have made that putt. You know, the studs make that putt. He could have gone on to maybe a Grand Slam this year.
Now you're going crazy. Plaschke, please.
All right, Mariotti, let me bring the pass back. Who did you pick to win this tournament, Mariotti?
Phil Mickelson.
You choked, not Mickelson. You choked.
Woody Page, you were there. What did you take from Phil Mickelson's last round?
He did choke. When you got a 4 or 5 footer with a chance to go for the Grand Slam, you got to make that. Just as you've got to make the field goal at the end of the Super Bowl. Just as you've got to make the
because he won the Masters. We need to move on, guys. Just because he won the Masters means he can get away with that. People will let him slide in this particular tournament. He had a tough putting day on a very tough putting day. Guys, we need to move on because it seems like the Lakers are moving on at a rapid rate. From purple rain to purple drain. Phil Jackson's gone. Kobe wants in on the free agent market. And, of course, the Shaq department. After GM Mitch Kupchak indicated that he'd be willing to trade Shaq, O'Neal played matchmaker in the press. If any GM out there wants a hard-working big man who wants to win championships, call Mitch Kupchak, because he'll entertain offers. Guys?
Oh, that was good.
Thank you very much. Taking Kobe's court case out of the equation. Should the Lakers build around Kobe or build around Shaq? Around the horn to Bill Plaschke.
Well, let's just look at Dr. Jerry Buss and what he's done. The doctor is out. In the last several years, he's let the best executive in basketball history go, the best coach in basketball history go, and now made one of the best centers in basketball history go. The bottom line is, over the last 9 years, the Lakers, with Shaquille O'Neal and without Kobe Bryant, are playing about 750. With Kobe and without Shaquille, they're really over 500.
True.
There's only one Shaquille out there. You don't get rid of him. You ride him until the end.
Plaschke, Shaquille only has a couple of years left in basketball, and he's going to become a
2 more
top,
championships.
whatever. Kobe Bryant is just entering his mid-20s. If it's an either-or scenario, assuming he is acquitted this summer, you've got to go with Kobe Bryant. You know what's going to happen, though, Tony? They're going to have a hard time trading Shaquille O'Neal because of the parameters and mixing and matching. They're both going to end up with the Lakers. Rudy T will come in, and they'll contend again next year.
Come on, Jay, you don't get it. With Kobe Bryant and without Shaq, without Phil Jackson, you've got just the Orlando Magic. You've got to make a deal. Shaquille wants, if he wants to fire somebody, he should have fired his daughter. She's the one Jerry Buss should be getting rid of. Shaquille O'Neal's got 2 or 3 good years at the very minimum, and he's a guy that no matter where he goes, suddenly they're the NBA favorites. And you know that, Jay. You can make a deal. You can send him back to Orlando.
You guys obviously did not watch the NBA Finals. Shaquille O'Neal is clearly doing this. This guy is not the player that he was 2 years ago. He doesn't play defense. He can't play every other day. He's not in the shape he used to be. Kobe Bryant's doing this. Mariotti said it. He's in his mid-20s. Fairly or unfairly, the guy's being mentioned in the same breath with Michael Jordan. You don't get rid of a guy that was in his mid-20s.
Vince Carter, guys. Vince Carter.
I don't care how much. I don't care how much Shaq is declining. I don't care how much he's declining. Any team he goes to will be a favorite next year to win a championship because there's no centers out there. There's just nobody. He's one of a kind out there.
Mariotti.
Plaschke, explain to me how they make a deal when he makes $28 million next year.
It's impossible to make a deal.
No, it's not. No,
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he can make a deal. I think this is all talk anyway. The question is, though, did this Lakers dynasty ever meet its potential? 5 years with Phil, 3 championships. On paper, it looks pretty good, but this team self-destructed like no other in basketball history in recent years. Guys, buy or sell is next and coming up. Ken Griffey Jr. joined the club on Sunday. So how many center fielders are better than Ken Griffey's kid? Plus, what are the chances that Tracy McGrady and Shaquille O'Neal wind up playing in the same town?
Around the Horn, brought to you by Heineken, who invites you to be on stage at the 2004 ESPY Awards. Check out the Heineken handoff at ESPN.com/contest.
Buy or sell?
Buy or sell time, let's see what we have. Do it. Do it. Leading off, the long drawn-out drama gripping the nation is finally over. Ken Griffey Jr. has hit home run number 500. Jr. is the 20th member of the ever-expanding club, but just the 3rd center fielder ever to become a member. Griffey became the 6th youngest player to reach the plateau and the 4th to reach the mark in the last 3 years, joining Bonds, Sosa, and Palmeiro. Buy or sell Ken Griffey Jr. as a top 3 center fielder all time. Bill Plaschke.
He's not even a top 5 center fielder. I'm selling this. Mays, Mantle, DiMaggio, Chris Speaker, and Ty Cobb. He's 6th.
Ty Cobb, center fielder?
Yeah,
What's going on
he's
there?
center fielder. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I got Plaschke's back on this one. But, Bill, you left out a couple other names. And the most important one, you got Duke Snyder. But what
No, his
about,
numbers don't match.
What about,
Numbers don't match.
Cool Papa Bell was the greatest center fielder of all time. So you would have to say Griffey is number 8 in history.
Where are we going with this, Mariotti?
No, I'm selling to Mays, Mano, DiMaggio. Remember, Joe missed about 3 or 4 years because of World War II.
And what do you
Those
say?
numbers would have been higher. Look, Griffey has been too injured, and he's done this in the steroid era. Not that he's on roids, but in the power era. I'm selling.
I can't believe what I'm hearing here. He's in the top 3. You're talking about a guy that's won 10 gold gloves. You guys always think about home runs and batting titles. The guy's one of the best defensive center fielders of all time. He's the only person better is Willie Mays. He scaled walls for
Name
Richie Ashburn. Richie Ashburn's better.
Now you're just throwing name. Where's Willie McGee, guys? What's he up to right now? Calm down. He named all-century center fielder, 500 home runs, a decade of gold gloves. That being said, he's number 4 because of this guy's household, Joe DiMaggio's number 3. Let's move on. Break up the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. No, seriously, break them up. The D-Rays won their 11th straight on Sunday, a 2-1 victory over the Diamondbacks, and now are Major League best 11-1 in interleague play. Tampa Bay is 32-34 overall, and for the first time this late in the season, 3rd place in the AL East. Manager Lou Piniella moved past Miller Huggins for 20th all-time with 1,414 victories. Buy or sell Sweet Lou Piniella as Manager of the Year. Woody Page.
I'm buying it, but it's very close, and it pains me to say this, but the other candidate is Bucky Showalter with the Rangers. Look at the job he's done in the post-A-Rod era.
True.
But Piniella is aggressive. He's got that young talent. He's using it well. He's a guy that will walk a left-hander against the left-handed pitcher so that he can pitch to the right-hander. You got to love his style.
Sal, come on, Woody, that is an aberration. Check back with me on Tampa Bay in 2 weeks. Look at what's going on here in New York with the Yankees. Kevin Brown hurt, Messina slumping, Jeter in a slump. This big transition, look at them. Big lead over the Red Sox. It's Joe Torre.
I think you're saying that just to Brown knows, actually. So I'm going to mute you twice for it. Michael Smith.
No, you got to buy this thing. You're talking about division. Other than Toronto, where everybody's a big spender, this team, homegrown talent, people that they built it from the ground up, got AAA pitching, and they've gone 20-6 since May 20th, a streak that started with the Red Sox win. Buy this thing.
I'm selling this. You want AAA pitching, Michael? Cincinnati Reds have AAA pitching.
They do.
The best manager in baseball right now is Dave Miley of Cincinnati Reds. You all have never even heard of the guy. They got a winning record in the toughest division in baseball. Dave Miley's the guy.
Lou Piniella, though, gives great tirade, and we love that. Let's move on. Florida Today reports Tracy McGrady, who expects to be traded any day now by the Magic, wants to play with Shaquille O'Neal next season. The two have discussed in depth a plan that will unite them in Dallas while playing for owner Mark Cuban. We talk about it all the time, McGrady told the paper on Saturday. Me and the big fella are trying to get to Dallas together now. Buy or sell the T-Mac Shaq rumor, Mariotti.
You're going to sell that thing. Who wants Dallas's talent other than Nowitzki? They've got all these big contracts you have to unload. Nobody wants any of these guys. You can't make it happen. Can't make it mix and match.
Michael Smith.
You know, I can't wait till it happens so I can rub Mariotti's face in it. Who the hell made you a capologist? I'm trying to figure out.
They did.
No, the point is, look, I'll buy it. If they can make it happen, I'm not a capologist. I'm not going to claim to be one. But if they can make it happen, T-Mac and Shaq, they can coexist. They like each other. It'll be a second coming to Kobe Shaq.
Got some onions on Michael Smith.
One thing, Michael, there are no capologists in basketball, okay? So just forget that.
Whatever.
But I'm buying this because of Mark Cuban. He wants it done. He's desperate for it to have it done in Dallas. And sure, they could trade Nowitzki and Finley to the Lakers. They'll get and they'll get the prospects to Orlando. It can work.
All right, Woody Page.
I'm also buying it. Don't you find it amazing that every time you ask Mariotti a question, his brain doesn't come on for about a second or two? What is it with you, Mariotti? Get with the flow of the program today. I am buying this. I think it's special. It's the kind of creative thinking that would get Mark Cuban an NBA title.
Might be true, but I don't think you have enough right there. And as always, they can trade a Twan to be named later in the end. Elimination time, Woody Page. You brought the big guns. You brought the meat today. It wasn't enough. Any last words?
I can't believe I flew all the way back from New York to spend.
All right. Thank you for joining us and gracing us with your presence for 2 segments. Coming up, guys, the only difference between me and Tiger, I do this kind of thing 30 times around. Hit me with it quad bogey style. All right, around the horn, we're up to 2 rounds. Here's how they stand. Bill Plaschke in the lead with 19.
Not for long.
Jay Mariotti has 18. Michael Smith is talking some trash, and he's got 18. And Woody Page spent frequent flyer miles to get back for this.
It's out of bounds.
Leading off. It's 24 hours after the conclusion of the U.S. Open, and the title Best golfer never to win a major in the last 2 years still belongs to Tiger Woods. The slumping Tiger finished 17th, 14 off the pace, shot a 76 on Sunday, and all this set against the backdrop of a feud with Butch Harmon. The only stir Tiger made on the course this weekend came from the bully tactics of caddy Stevie Williams, twice mixing it up with cameramen. Is it all beginning to unravel for Team Tiger? Around the horn to Jay Mariotti.
Well, it is. I mean, he's such a sore loser and a powder. I mean, he was so dignified when he was a champion, but now he can't handle the pressure and the failure. This is starting to bother me. I think he's becoming very easy to dislike. His caddy, Steve Williams. Tiger rips the USGA because of the green. Tiger, you got to hit the ball from the tee box into the fairway before you can get to the green to begin with. Look in the mirror, fix your swing, hire a good swing coach, or shut up.
That's some really harsh stuff, and I'm really appalled at you, Mariotti, for saying that. But no, in all seriousness, it certainly appears that things are unraveling for Tiger Woods. I mean, he's still playing relatively well. You think about it, top 10 finishes in 11 tournaments here. That's not bad. His problem, as Jay pointed out, is his driving accuracy. 156 in driving accuracy, 84th in greens and regulation. A wise man told me, he who has himself for a teacher has a fool for a pupil. That's all I'm going to say.
You know, another wise man told me it's not how you handle yourself in success, but how you handle failure that shows the true measure of a man. And Tiger Woods is acting like a complete punk right now. First of all, Steve Williams, keep your mouth shut. You're a caddy. You hand him the club and keep your mouth shut. He's a real punk. And Tiger Woods is not behaving well at all, complaining. Look at Derek Jeter. Look at Brett Favre. Look at Karl Malone. Three guys who have lost in the last couple of years. Have had big losses in their careers. Handle it with class.
Tiger parted ways, though, with Butch Harmon and Fluff, his old caddy, because they got too big. If Stevie's doing this without Tiger's wishes, Tiger would fire him. But I think this is Tiger's call. Either way, he's in danger of losing his game. He's in danger of losing the crowd. Phil Mickelson got the biggest cheers this weekend. Let's move on. We love lists on Around the Horn, and Forbes magazine put out their 100 most powerful celebs list with money and fame determining the ranking. Rounding out the top 5, the Rolling Stones, Tom Cruise, Oprah Winfrey, Tiger Woods, and numero uno, Mel Gibson. Michael Jordan came in at number 7. Is Tiger Woods the most powerful celebrity in sports? Flashkey.
No. The most powerful celebrity recently dismantled one of the best basketball teams in history. He recently accounted for some of the best TV ratings in history, and he's going to have the trial of the century coming up here. Kobe Bryant is the most powerful celebrity in sports, not for all the right reasons, but for all the reasons that are appropriate to today's society.
He's at the mercy of a Colorado courtroom, and you're telling me he's powerful?
Yes.
Right now, I'd say he doesn't have any power. Power is money in sports, and even though Tiger Woods is going through these troubles on the course, off the course, every time you turn on TV, there is Tiger Woods. He makes the most money in sports.
Wrong. You're
He's
both
worth
completely
millions
wrong
and millions
here.
of dollars.
Power in sports is a combination of dominating your sport and the marketing ability.
Who is it?
And the only guy who's still doing, he's not dominating the sport, we're still fascinated with him, ask Mariotti, is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
He's old news.
Listen to me here. The guy still got a presence. Every time we're talking about basketball, we're talking about Jordan.
The kid comes up with an old school answer. I think maybe in 2 years, LeBron James will be number 1 on this list. Right now, it's got to be Tiger Woods. Come on. Low man is you, Michael Smith. Any last words?
Can I please be in the final today, please?
Maybe if you wave. I know if you wave, you're out of here. See you later. Showdown's next. Bill Plaschke and Jay Mariotti. But first, I'm not one for Hollywood rumors, but did Brad Pitt give Jennifer Aniston the condition which leads to 9 months of being round?
Around the Horn, brought to you by Cablevision.
Showdown time. Plaschke versus Mariotti. Do it. Leading off. The sun rising in the east. Jay Mariotti showing up to work, and Eric Gagne slamming the door. We hold those truths to be self-evident. The reigning National Cy Young Award winner converted his 18th save of the season last night as the Dodgers beat the Yankees. Guys, that's now 81 straight saves for Gagne over the last 2.5 years. Is this streak comparable to Joe DiMaggio's? 15 seconds. Plaschke, go.
You know, Eric Gagne is a class guy. The best thing to happen to the Dodgers in 20 years. A wonderful man. But even he would admit it's not comparable. Joe DiMaggio had to do it every day. Joe DiMaggio had little room for error. Yesterday, Gagne got to save and give up a home run. Because it's a relatively new stat, because relievers will say things different.
For error. Joe DiMaggio had 4 or 5 trips a game. He could strike out 4 times and get a hit. Eric Gagne, believe me, Plaschke, I come from the capital of blown saves. Chicago. I know how easy it is to blow a save. This guy is incredible, and you better start appreciating it.
Mariotti, didn't we already go over this? In this guy's house, Joe DiMaggio's #1. Point for you, Plashke. Let's move on. Giants ace Jason Schmidt threw his second one-hitter of the season in Sunday's 4-0 win over the Red Sox. Schmidt has won 9 straight decisions, and his 9-2 record is now the same as Roger Clemens. Clemens lost 2 in a row, though, Saturday against the Angels. Who's your NL All-Star starter right now, Schmidt or Clemens? 15 seconds, Mariotti, go.
Well, I'll admit Schmidt has better numbers, but only slightly. Look, I'm not going to give up on the drama here. Clemens pitching in Houston, and who's the battery mate? Mike Piazza. Jason Schmidt can start any All-Star game. I want to see the theater.
Typical Mariotti, taking style over substance. I'll take the pitcher who deserves to be there, who has more complete games, better ERA, better whip, and guess what? More strikeouts than Roger Clemens. Jason Schmidt's been the guy. The Giants have a terrible lineup, and he's carried them all year.
Or Barry Bonds, right? Plashke, point though for Mariotti. Come on, Piazza and Clemens. And finally, brush off that screenplay in your trunk and order up your In-N-Out burger animal style. We're talking baseball in California. On the schedule tonight, the Dodgers and Giants renew their bitter rivalry at the very same time that the A's and Angels battle for first in the AL West. Which series is more important, A's Halos or Dodgers Giants? 30 seconds for the game. Plashke, go.
I said it before. I'll say it again. It's going to make me lose this show. I don't care. Dodgers Giants, best baseball rivalry over the last century. This is the best one. This has changed lives. This will be better this week. The Dodgers, especially right now, both of them, Dodgers trying to get respectability, Giants trying to hang on.
You know,
great series, great rivalry.
Those two teams are going to be there all year, though. The A's and the Angels, they're both struggling. Anaheim with its injuries. A's, I mean, what's going on with Barry Zito? Barry Zito can't pitch anymore. Arthur Rhodes is an issue. They need to make a statement. That's an important series. The other series, they'll be there all
Plashke, you called it. You brought up the most overrated rivalry in sports. Mariotti wins. 15 seconds,
I know it.
Wimbledon is one big yawner this year, with the exception of Martina Navratilova. Can you believe it? 47 years old, first time in 10 years she wins a singles match today. The rest of the tournament, I don't care. Martina, Jack Nicklaus at 46 at the Masters. I can't think of many other athletes her age who have pulled something like this off.
Well, maybe Woody Page, right? That's going to do it, folks. We're on a 23.5-hour break. We'll see you tomorrow around the horn.
I knew it, I knew you'd get me.
I
knew you would.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Bob Ryan. Hey, Tony, what would you do if Tiger's caddy tried to take your camera away?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and I'll tell you what, I'd probably just give it to him because he's big and he's from New Zealand. He's a big guy.
Big Kiwi.
He's a big Kiwi. I'd sick Wilbon on him is what I would. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. Wilbon's got the day off, and I am joined by our good friend Bob Ryan of the Boston Globe. In today's episode, we discuss Tiger's struggles, the dismantling of the Lakers, and the merits of auctioning off your virginity on the internet. Boy, was I born too late. Let's begin with the U.S. Open. Bobby, you were there on the east end of Long Island for all 4 days at Shinnecock. Phil Mickelson had the lead by 1 shot over Retief Goosen after birdieing numbers 15 and 16 on Sunday. But Mickelson ended up losing by 2 shots after double bogey on the par 3 on 17. Bobby, did Goosen win it, or did Phil Mickelson choke it away?
The man took 24 putts. The man made an incredible putt to save bogey in 14. Retief Goosen won this tournament. Phil Mickelson did a great thing, Tony. Let's not forget that in order to get, he was 3 behind on the 12th tee. 3 behind, and he birdies 3 holes in 4. A great charge. 17, did he mess it up? Absolutely. But don't go with the word choke.
The greatest players in the world, and Phil Mickelson is one of them, when they have it on their racket like that, they have to close it out. On Saturday, by going 2 over on the last 2 holes, he cost himself a chance to play head-to-head with Goosen, which I believe would have made a difference.
I agree with that.
And on Sunday, come on, he's right there, and at the end, like the old Phil, the short putts don't go for him. Now, I'm not saying he didn't play great, because, I mean, the rest of the field backed up tremendously, and he played very, very well. But he won the Masters. He could have been 2 parts of the Grand Slam. he should have won.
Bingo. He won the Masters. And how did he win the Masters? With one of the great back nine charges
31 on the back.
in Masters history.
Caught Ernie Els, passed him on 18.
Did anybody...
No.
Did he go Gagarama that day?
But
those days are gone. Gone for him. Gone.
Objectively, if you go +2 in the last 2 holes 2 days in a row, do you not think that's a gag when you're one of the 2 or 3 greatest players in the world? Truthfully.
Under the conditions that we saw here, no. That's all the more reason to salute the gentleman from South Africa.
Goosen,
for not doing...
Did he have 9 one-putt greens? And like you said,
no,
when he saved bogey on 14, that, in retrospect, is the turning point. He deserved to win, but Phil could have, and I believe should have won.
But he didn't show. So Tiger bombed out at another major. Call me when there's new news. As Isaiah Thomas once said of Larry Bird, he's just another good guy on the tour now. It's not just the 0 for 8 in a major since Bethpage. He doesn't even contend. Okay, Tony, you're the Butch Harmon of this duo. What's up with Tiger?
Well, first, he doesn't play enough. Ooh. He still hasn't changed his schedule, and he doesn't play enough. And second, and I think Butch Harmon is right about this, I believe that Tiger Woods is in denial. He is putting so many tee shots way off to the right. He's the greatest scrambler we've got, but he wouldn't have to scramble if he wasn't putting driver and other things out to the right. And the way he came back at Butch Harmon, the way he said, how could he say this? Why didn't he tell me to my face? And I'm this close. I'm always this close. That bespeaks somebody who's not in the real world right now.
Even at his peak, even walking off the 18th at Bethpage, in those days, anytime the slightest little thing went wrong, he was the classic, the dog ate my homework kind of guy. He always had an excuse even then. Now, he's just got an excuse for everything. Blaming the media because it was a, quote, distraction in the aftermath of the Butch Harmon thing, that's a reach and a half.
Look, I think he is still the best player in the world, or very close, but he has lost the intimidation towards the other players that he once had. Because when you see him out there, your eyes still go to him. The things that he did scrambling were fabulous, but he's got to keep the tee shots out in the middle of the fairway.
Look, every tournament we get a new milestone. You know, it used to be that he didn't do such and such, or he always did such and such. Now, he does the same things everybody else does, good or bad.
I will say this, he has only himself to blame in this regard. He told us, judge me on the majors.
Yes, he did.
He told us
raised that,
and that's 8 in a row.
Thank you.
Bobby, most of the post-Open commentary has centered on the justice or injustice of how Shinnecock was set up for the final round on Sunday. Now, these are the greatest players in the world, and not one of them broke par on Sunday. Some of them, like Ernie Els, Sergio Garcia, and Vijay Singh, all in the top 10 in the world, shot astronomical scores. Was the course set up fairly, or did the USGA go to extraordinary lengths to keep the players from playing at their normal high level?
Well, 4 guys managed to survive it well. Alan B., who actually shot a 70, nobody discusses. 50-year-old Jay Haas and the other 2 guys, Goosen and Phil Scott. The rest of them, you know, range from terrible to beyond belief.
Els shot an 80.
Beyond belief. Okay.
So, Sergio shot 80.
I personally, as did anyone else who watched it, I mean, I saw it because I was there, but if you watch on TV, saw so many shots that were legitimately good shots to hit the green on any other green in America, including Pinehurst with its cone greens, and they would have had a chance to stay on the green, and they went bye-bye. That's ludicrous.
See, here's the thing. The leader was -6 after 2 days, so you know these guys can go out under relatively benign, relatively normal conditions and play well. Now everybody just blows up on Saturday or Sunday. Is it the ego of the USGA which says, oh, no, nobody's coming through here in big-time red numbers?
Well, I think we know that their version of a perfect Open is one at par or under, no matter where we are. And they usually get this by tricking up the course with waist-high rough or some crazy stuff.
No,
here
this time they did it with the greens.
Here it was
and
just
the
the greens. The pin placements on highways. They weren't greens.
Didn't they average close to, wouldn't the field average close to 80 for the last
78.7 was the average. Beyond belief. Now, Ken Griffey Jr. got more airtime last week than Stephen A. Smith.
Impossible.
Oh, yeah. Now, did he settle the Middle East crisis? Did he find a cure for cancer? No, he became the 20th man to hit 500 career home runs. Next up, Fred McGriff.
No way.
All right, now 500 homers is becoming the Argentine peso of baseball. Tony, did you need a box of Kleenex watching the Griffey's embrace?
See, I didn't mind this. I mean, I watched it for Sosa. I've watched it for other people. It didn't bother me. Ken Griffey was the greatest player in all of baseball for the decade of the 90s. And I'm sort of happy to see him back. I think it just became elongated because didn't it take him 6 games or 7 games to actually go from 499 to 500? But I didn't mind it. Do you think that it's
this
undeserving?
milestone is not a cutaway from what we're doing to see the at-bat kind of thing to me. Not anymore. No, not. And by the way, we're gonna have a situation where guys are going to hit 500 sooner or later and not make the Hall of Fame.
Is there anybody right now with 500
yes.
or more?
I'll tell you a guy that.
Who?
Palmeiro. That, I mean,
he's going to finish with 600.
Do you think of him as?
See, now
how
last
do you
year,
think of him?
when he got to 500, I sat on this set and crusaded saying he's never been the best at his position in the league, and even though he's got these numbers, he won't get in. And I was slammed, body slammed by people who said he'll get 600, he'll get 3,000 hits, and he's a lot.
He will not pass the Potter Stewart test. I know a Hall of Famer when I see one, and it's not him.
I'm on the record as saying that Martina Navratilova at age 47 should stop this foolishness and cease playing singles in major tournaments. Well, the next sound you hear will be me shutting my mouth as Navratilova today beat Catalina, hold that dressing, Castano, 6-love, 6-1 in the opening round of Wimbledon. Bob, do we all have to shut up about Martina and let her play singles until she's 70 now?
No, I have to eat something too, because I said when I saw she was even going to play, stop this Arnold Palmerization tour you're on.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, don't do it. In doubles, she can still play. And then she wins this thing. I don't know what to make of this.
Well, I think it says something about the lack of depth in women's tennis. John McEnroe's 45 years old. Do you think for a second he could beat anybody in Wimbledon if he went out there to play?
Agassi, the way he's playing now.
Yeah, because Agassi would tank the match for some reason. But the men can't do this.
No.
It's just impossible. How many rounds before you say to Martina, okay, I really do shut up now? I think she has to win 3, maybe 2. One is not enough for me at this point.
No, she's got to win 2. Yeah, and I'll salute her, but I'm stunned. I am. I'm gobsmacked. I'm getting ready for the British Open.
We're taking a break. When we come back, Phil Jackson is gone and Shaq wants out. Could they both land in Dallas? And later, Jack Nicholson, great sports fan or lame bandwagoneer?
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Guinness Draft Stout. Drink responsibly. Brilliant.
There are a ton of moving parts to the dismantling of the Lakers, and to help us sort them out, we are joined by our good friend, the ubiquitous Stephen A. Smith of the Philadelphia Inquirer in a cinnamon suit. Very natty, wouldn't you say, Bobby?
Oh, I think it's outstanding.
Very, very natty.
Well, I definitely appreciate y'all input on my fashion. Thank you very much.
Very nice. I might buy a couple of those myself coming up. Let's start with Phil Jackson. He is out with the Lakers. Who, Stephen, is in with the Lakers?
We don't know as of yet, but obviously Rudy Tomjanovich is a leading candidate for this position, along with, Henry Bibby's name has been mentioned, but you have to believe that Rudy Tomjanovich, winner of 2 NBA World Championships, one of the few guys in NBA history to have done that, he definitely has to be considered one of the prime candidates for the job.
Let's talk about the big Aristotle, sometimes known as the big runner-up. He wants to get out of Los Angeles, but how can that be made possible?
Well, it can be made in numerous scenarios. First of all, look at the Indiana Pacers. I mean, with all the young talent that they have on their roster, you're talking about Artest, you're talking about Harrington, you're talking about Bender, Greg Foster. All of these guys, obviously, you've got to make wholesale changes and what have you, because Shaquille O'Neal is scheduled to make $28 million this season. But there are a couple of deals that are out there. You're looking at Indiana. Dallas is another possibility. You've got to look at that. Sacramento is another possibility if you're willing to unload Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic for Shaquille O'Neal to end up in Sacramento. The Maloof brothers absolutely love him. Myself and David Aldridge, the other NBA insider for ESPN, we're talking about it just Saturday. I mean, the Maloofs like Shaquille O'Neal a lot. Those are all possibilities.
Well, you mentioned Mark Cuban. Could anybody like Shaq more than him? I mean, and if he doesn't get Shaq, are they going to make some blockbuster move of some kind? You
would hope so, because they don't have the team built in place to win an NBA championship as far as I'm concerned. They don't play any defense. They don't play good defense. They definitely need an image lift, for lack of a better word. They need to change the complexion of that team, because you've got a whole bunch of individuals that are looking to score the basketball, but no one outside of Steve Nash that even appear to try and play some defense, and that is not the recipe for a championship team. That's just the bottom line. They would desperately need, if not Shaq, maybe somebody like a McGrady, make some changes to make something happen, because what they've done thus far is not working. I'm talking about Don Nelson. I'm not talking about Mark Cuban. He's the owner. He's willing to spend the money. Got to give him credit where it's due. But Don Nelson's team has not played defense in years as far as I'm concerned.
Anybody else you see is really a prime possibility to get T-Mac?
You know, Houston's definitely a possibility. There's some talk today that there's a deal on the table involving Steve Francis, Cuttino Mobley, and Kelvin Cato for T-Mac with Juwan Howard. I spoke to John Weisbrod, the general manager for the Orlando Magic. He says to me there are no deals that are imminent. He has acknowledged speaking to Houston, along with many other teams throughout the NBA that are obviously very interested in acquiring Tracy McGrady, but no decision has been made because he's in absolutely no rush whatsoever. He wanted to know what T-Mac's intentions were. He suspects he does know, even though he hasn't heard officially from T-Mac. But at the end of the day, he knows that he's in a position to make a tremendous deal. And that's exactly what he's going to do, because there will be more people knocking as the draft approaches and even once it passes.
Stephen, Phil Jackson is gone from the Lakers. You've got Shaquille realistically being on the block and being able to be moved. Does this mean Kobe Bryant will stay with the Lakers and that this is a smokescreen, the opting out towards free agency?
Well, the perfect answer to that, Tony, is that the Los Angeles Lakers are praying that it's exactly the scenario you just painted. Remember, you've got San Antonio, you've got the LA Clippers, you've got the Phoenix Suns, all in a position to make a run at Kobe Bryant. It would be embarrassing, and it would be just complete destruction of the Los Angeles Lakers franchise if, after all of the stuff that has transpired in recent days, Kobe Bryant ends up walking away from the Los Angeles Lakers. That is a disaster they simply cannot afford to allow to happen. But if you're looking at the Phoenix Suns, you've got Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion playing in there. That's an attractive situation. You look at the Los Angeles Clippers, the bad part about it is that Donald Sterling owns the team. The good part is that you've got Elton Brand, Corey Maggette, Quentin Richardson, and those guys, with Chris Kaman as your young center. Who
Are you saying that he would stay in the same building and play for another team that isn't as good as the Lakers, doesn't have the traditional Lakers have? He'd actually go to the Clippers? Because I find that hard to believe.
I find it hard to believe as well, but from what I'm hearing, it is a possibility, number one, because his wife and her family would love for them to remain in Los Angeles, and number two, and more importantly than anything else, he has such an ego. He's so anxious to prove that he can win without Shaquille O'Neal, that anything is possible with Kobe Bryant. He's a hard guy to predict. He really is.
Thank you, Stephen.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Stephen A. Smith, boys and girls. We're taking a break. When we come back, did Tiger's caddy cross the line when he grabbed a camera out of the gallery?
Mail Time is brought to you by MSN Mail. Life's better with the butterfly. Come see how at msn.com.
This is the part of the show where we turn the topics over to you, our valued viewers. So let's check the Drek, Bobby. And Drek it usually is. When is someone, the USGA, PGA, a fed-up fan, going to stand up to Tiger's bully of a caddy? When is someone going to give him the broken jaw and bloody nose he so richly deserves for his ridiculous behavior?
Tiger goes from a caddy named Fluff,
right,
to this pit bull. You know, and who's his next caddy? Odd Job? Was that a dated reference? But
That's
I know
dated.
you'll like it, though.
I get it.
I mean, no, this guy is out of control. And really, I can't believe that there won't be some punitive actions being taken by USGA.
We don't need Steve Williams as vigilante justice, okay? He should be fined. He's already been fined once. You don't grab cameras from spectators. You don't behave this way. He should be suspended for at least one full tournament, and if he continues to do it, they should boot him from the tour. And by the way, it's Tiger's name on the bag, so Tiger is responsible for this. So don't tell me Tiger doesn't encourage or at least look the other way for this kind of behavior.
Oh, are you kidding me? I remember thinking right away, this is going to enhance his standing with Tiger. You know, loyalty valued above all. Okay. What do you make of this report that Bob Knight won't sign with Texas Tech until he hears from Ohio State?
Well, I make of that, if the report is correct, that he wants to coach at Ohio State because he's got a new extension sitting on the table with Texas Tech. Now, if he coaches at Ohio State, there will be no scandal involving the players. No academic scandal, no behavioral scandal with the players. Nobody's going to give anybody money. And I like Bobby Knight, okay? But he's going to blow up at some point, and then Ohio State's going to wonder, why did we do this? And I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, he's a great, great coach. I don't know that it will work.
If they do make the call, oh, this is going to be a tough one. The wastelands of Texas, you know, where I'm doing my fertilizer commercials, or wherever he does, he's endorsing everything out there. Or the Heartland, my alma mater, basketball, I can be a savior, and I have another chance to go up against Indiana University.
Would you hire him if you were Ohio State?
No, because he will blow up in their face.
See, that's what I would worry about. Barry Bonds said, quote, Boston is too racist for me. I could never play there, unquote. Can you get someone from Boston on the show to address this issue? Lucky for us, we have Bob Ryan.
Okay. No, you can't live down the history. We would be foolish to suggest that Boston doesn't have a very troubled and very regrettable racial history. The best I can offer, Tony, things are better. That's not good enough for some people. It certainly wouldn't be good enough for Barry Bonds, who, by the way, probably heard a lot of stories from his father, Bobby, who played in the American League, and for all I know, could have had some terrible incident of personal
But Barry Bonds has nothing personally, right?
He has no frame of reference. He did not make the All-Star game in '99 in Boston. He did not play. He was hurt or whatever. And therefore, he has no personal frame of reference. He could pick up the phone and call somebody such as Pedro Martinez or David Ortiz or Alice Burke.
I will say
tell him
this does come up a lot
today.
But this does come up a lot.
History, we're trapped by our history. Well, anyway, did you see that joke Jack Nicholson wearing a New York Yankee cap last night? Doesn't he deserve to be called out for his transparent attempts at bandwagonization?
I am surprised that he's not a Dodger fan, though. That's not a real Yankee hat.
That's the worst.
That's not a real Yankee hat. I know he's born in New Jersey, so maybe he is a Yankee fan, although he's clearly a Lakers fan. I wouldn't have called him a joke. Is he? Don't you think it's good? The guy pays his own money, and he comes to the games, win or lose. Isn't he a good fan?
That's fine. Look, but you know what? If you're really going to be a good fan, you don't wear that bogus rip-off.
That's a nonsense hat.
If he would
canary yellow Yankee hat.
When you agree that Jack Nicholson is we still think he's a cool guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's the 67-year-old guy we hope we can be someday, right?
We think that because we're close to 67.
Yeah, but he's the guy. But you lose points. Put the real Yankee hat on, I would have more respect for him. Don't put that stupid, bogus yellow hat on.
Do people in America think that he's a joke?
Jack Nicholson? No, I don't know about that. Gone a little too far.
The British teenager who was auctioning off his virginity on the internet, complete loser or total genius?
I'm going to quote from this guy. Okay. On his website, he says that the reason that he still has his virginity intact is, and I quote now, "I've been far too busy with my creative projects to work on losing my virginity." You can take that.
Well, if I understand this correctly, he is auctioning off his virginity on the internet, so he's going to get some hot babe to sleep with him, and he's going to get paid. Now, how is he not a genius? Well, where do we all sign up? That sounds like dream job.
You're making a big leap of faith.
What?
That a hot babe will, in fact, put up the 11 grand let's see what
as long as you don't end up with Harvey Fierstein, you're in the plus column. Time for a break. Don't go anywhere, because we still got to talk about Mike Tyson's new opponent and a big box office win for dodgeball and, sadly, Wilbon. I think I had the under on that.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Guinness Draft Stout. Drink responsibly. Brilliant.
Happy time, people. Happy 71st birthday to Bernie Capel, Doc on the Love Boat. Stay tuned for updates on Captain Steubing, Gopher, and Isaac the bartender. The stunner in all this, of course, is how Doc was considered the ladies' man on the Love Boat.
It wasn't going to be Gavin McLeod. You got to love any show that gives you a future congressman from Iowa in the cast.
Fred Grandy. Fred Grandy. Happy anniversary, Lennox Lewis. On this day last year, you survived a fight with Vitaly Klitschko. Most people thought that Lewis was having his lunch handed to him by Klitschko, but by the 6th round, Klitschko's face looked like a giant plate of hamburger helper, and so the fight was stopped. You'll note that Lewis retired rather than give Klitschko a rematch.
Slight correction. Everybody thought he was getting his lunch handed to him, and he was smart to retire at 37. I think he knew he had lost every other round.
Happy trails to the smell coming out of the greater Tampa area. The Devil Rays have suddenly won 11 games in a row. Lou Piniella promised last year the Devil Rays would be much improved, and everyone laughed. Devil Rays now 6 games behind Boston, that's all. And you will recall Tampa Bay Lightning, NHL champions, and a year ago, Bobby, Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. Something in the water?
Lou said specifically, we will not finish last.
And they're not good. Time to find out what we messed up. Stat Boy.
In 3rd place for the first time in franchise history. Not many mistakes with Willie Buns taking the day off. I had Goosen with 11 one-putts on Sunday. Tony, you had him with 9 from your couch. Bob was there, and he had said 12, I guess. One of us,
we're going to give it to you because you are, hello, Stat Boy, and we go to the big finish. British heavyweight champion Danny Williams will replace Kevin McBride as Mike Tyson's opponent. Your thoughts?
Oh, I wish it were Cleveland Big Cat Williams. Greg Gumbel will now host CBS NFL coverage from the studio while Jim Nantz calls games. You like that switch?
Greg Gumbel's very good in studio, and Nance from the NCAAs is very good calling games, so it's okay. Roger Clemens has lost 2 in a row. Is he still the Cy Young favorite?
No, he is not. Randy Johnson, the 40-year-old ace, is. Dodgeball earned $30 million this weekend. Didn't you have the under on that?
I had the under, and the exact number was 30 million. So I want to recount because I believe it could be 29.9 or something like that. Right. Last one, a rocket plane supposedly made it into space and back. How cool is that?
Ralph Cramden would have loved it. Bang, zoom.
We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Same time tomorrow. SportsCenter's next. Has Phil surpassed Tiger as America's favorite golfer?